Alright, so I used to be like socially awkward in like the past when like lockdown. Like the lockdown 2020 was basically like the worst day. Like bro, before the lockdown, I'm gonna be honest, before the lockdown, I was very like I was extroverted. Like really extroverted before the lockdown. Like I was a child back then though. Like I was extremely extroverted as a child and like basically when I was like a child I was having lots of friends, speaking to friends, like talking to friends, playing with friends was just really enjoyable for me as a kid. And like what I'm gonna say is sorry for that, but what I'm gonna say is as a kid that was like very fun. Like conversations used to be so fun. But when the lockdown came in, like all of my friends just suddenly like started living away from us. Like I stopped having friends because the friends that I used to have slowly started disappearing. Like each one of them, like not really that or something, but just that most of them just straight up went to different like areas of our house. Like I don't even know where they live anymore. Like that's basically what has happened to like my old friends. And so like in the lockdown, I literally just didn't go outside. Like days went horrible. Like I was socially awkward outside. Like bro, very socially awkward. I basically just like there was a conversation. Like I tried to have like some conversations with my friends, or like it just becomes awkward and stuff like that. Like in school, I tried to like have a conversation. I just didn't really know what to like say back. Like this one was 2022 when the lockdown stopped and face to face started existing. Basically, I tried to like speak to them. It just quite hard. I just quite didn't got so good at it. Like like I tried to speak to them. It's just I just don't know what to say. But after like some time, I started to like improve myself again. I started to like I can already tell that I was turning into an introvert. Like I already knew that, and then it actually came true. I actually became an introvert. I stopped going outside on the lockdown, like COVID days. I mean years. I stopped going outside. It was like horrible. Days just went by like I didn't even realize a year had passed by already. Or so, how I actually like overcame socially awkwardness. I mean, like I hated conversations, bro. Like I tried to speak to someone, like it just ends up being silence and some stuff like that. Like it just doesn't work. Like it just ends up in silence when I try to speak to people. But anyways, how I overcame social awkwardness? Well, first of all, I'm gonna be honest with you. There will be times where it is awkward. There will actually be times where like a situation or a conversation gets awkward. Like of course it happens every now and then because like the world is like balance, yin and yang. But yeah, like I'm gonna say is that it will happen. Like you every now and then there will be an awkward moment. Like I try my best to not make sure that an awkward moment doesn't happen. So basically, how I overcame it, right now I can speak really clearly and better because I've been improving my skills. So how I overcame social awkwardness was basically first I learned how to improve my skills, or like I learned how to overcome socially awkwardness. And basically I learned that I needed to do was to improve my social skills. And basically, in order to improve social skills, what I need is basically to go out there and speak to people. Like this is very like your brain is probably like having a like an argument right now, or like trying to convince you that that's not like that's actually like really uncomfortable and hard. So I really recommend you to try it out with your family members, bro. Like, I've said this in the last video. But yeah, you gotta try it out with your family members first. Because like basically if you try practice it out with your family members, like it may or may not be awkward, but basically practice it out, like have conversations. If your family members like speak, listen to them, speak to them, like chat with them. Basically, like always start off with your family members, because that's basically how I started off. I started off with family members. It was awkward. Of course it's going to be awkward and uncomfortable to do this, but you got to do it if in order to stop being awkward in like what is it? In order to stop being socially awkward, you actually got to like to take the uncomfortable step and do it. You actually have to go ahead and start conversations with your like family members. Like that's like the easiest thing, the first thing, because you're like a level 1 at this skill right now. Like it's a skill, basically level 1, level 2. Like you are here, and if you don't have like any friends right now and you're socially awkward, it means you have a level 0. So you start off with the easiest one, which is your family members, since you're already like close to them. Like we know we're already like close to them anyways. So of course we start off with them. Basically start conversations. Speak to them, like always try and make conversations, because it makes you like, it trains the skill. You suddenly like slowly become level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, until you became really confident, and like there will always like, at least there is way less awkward situations, awkward socially awkwardness. Like it gets reduced to the lowest, because basically you keep on like speaking, the skills actually improve. Like there may be an awkward moment, like you might end up like being in silent with like after a conversation, or after trying, there may be silence. I know that, like hold up. Basically there may or may not be silence after you speak to your like, if after you try and train it. But like your brain, it's like it knows that, and like it tries to make it better in the future. So like it basically tries to make it better for the future. Like next time will be better. If an awkward moment happen when you try, just don't give up. Just never give up. Like keep trying to conversation have a conversation with someone. Like keep on trying, because if you like there may end up being an awkward situation. It's okay. Like keep trying, bro. Like you gotta not give up yet, because if you give up, basically it will never serve you well. You basically would just end up being the same, and you regret it all. But if you continue, even though it's awkward, you gotta continue, bro. Even though it is awkward and uncomfortable to try and speak to your family members when you haven't spoke to them in a while, try it, bro. Because I used to be the kid who watches like anime for 12 hours a day. Like I used to be like that kid, and like every time I go downstairs, it would be so awkward, because I literally just spent 5 hours watching anime, and then I'd go downstairs feeling so awkward, can't even speak to my family anymore. And so I trained it again. Like I felt a lot of awkward moments, but it was all worth it. It was worth it. That's why you gotta never give up. That's how I overcame social awkwardness. Like I haven't fully overcame it, but I may have overcame it a little bit. Like at least I've probably like reduced it at least half. So yeah, that's all. If you want to support me, you can like subscribe to my channel. Keep on improving in life, bro.